Everyone knows about the fight in 1964 in Oakland.
There's the famous story about how he was challenged by the Chinese community in Oakland, and he had to defend the right to teach his art to non-Chinese people.
You and this entire society are useless in this country. You are archaic.
And you're a fool to think that you can break away from us merely because you choose to.
To prove Bruce Lee was wrong, he was a fake and a fraud, the Chinese traditionalists sent somebody over to fight him.
The Chinese sent someone to shut down the school, shut down a throwdown, and of course Bruce chose throwdown.
The fight was to be held at Bruce's school. If Bruce lost the fight, he would have to stop teaching non-Chinese people.
Anything that forces you to review your dogmas, most people don't respond too well to it.
I was there 8 months pregnant with Brandon. These elders arrived from San Francisco, led by Wong Jackman, who was going to be the opponent in this challenge.
They came and they had this big match.
I didn't have a shred of a doubt about how this would come out. Wong Jackman started to run around the room, trying to get away from Bruce. And it took 3 minutes for Bruce to get him down on the ground and say, "Do you give up? Do you give up?" So Wong Jackman and those people all left. And I remember so clearly in my mind's eye, Bruce sitting on the steps in the back of the studio with his head in his hands.
And she said, "What's the matter?"
That was a fight that he realized the classical arts were not working for him, and he should have been able to put that guy down much sooner.
Bruce Lee has a fight with a guy and he doesn't beat him fast enough, so he goes off to rethink it all. And these tales all have the structure of myth and fantasy, little parables about the master.
He said, "My training in Wing Chun, my classical art, didn't prepare me for this kind of a battle."
That was the beginning of the evolution of his own way of martial arts.
If you read the notes that he left behind, 1965, he starts to write, "My style is Western fencing, Western boxing, and Wing Chun."
He says we owe our knowledge to the Wing Chun, but we're going to go beyond the Wing Chun.
Bruce Lee took a lot from boxing. I think he felt boxing was more realistic in that you were trading blows.
He likes the boxing footwork because it's alive, it's moving, and it changes.
He was totally invested in watching boxing films, going way back to Jack Johnson, Gene Tunney, Dempsey.
What he took from Dempsey was the kinetic chain, how to generate power, the importance of a good jab. There's a lot about the alignment of the body.
Bruce had a huge collection of boxing films, and he thought the world of Muhammad Ali.
And what he would do was very unique. I once came in, the lights were all out, and he's watching this 8mm film, and he's watching it backwards.
Muhammad Ali had a left foot forward stance, and Bruce would have a right foot forward. So he would run the films backward in the film editor and study them meticulously.
He would stretch and read and review an 8mm film of a boxer at the same time.
According to John Saxon, his co-star in Enter the Dragon, John asked him, why do you have all these boxing films on Ali? And he said that Bruce looked at him and said, "Because one day I'm going to fight him."
If I was to fight Bruce Lee was so quick, so smooth, you know. But the one thing that negates speed on a fighter is pressure, and I was a pressure fighter.
With Bruce Lee, you gotta go inside, smother him, and outmuscle him. You can't fight a dude like that outside.
I see Bruce leading off with some long-ass kicks, and Boom Boom gets pissed off and tries to rush in and give him some body punches.
And when you get close, then, you know, Bruce, I'm sure, would be trying to bring knees and high head kicks, and I'd be getting in there and I'd be, you know, throwing an uppercut, you know, bring the elbow across, and I'm sure he's gonna be trying to counter me, so I'm gonna have to be bobbing and weaving inside, you know. Bruce
gets it to the ground and armbars him or guillotines him.